Since he's first appeared, since he has killed Jim, people have wondered, who is the man in yellow and what does he want? In fact, the showrunners want you to ask that question because that is what they have built this season on. When you look at the summary, who is the man in yellow and what does he want? In this video, I am going to explain to you exactly who the man in yellow is and what he wants by breaking down this from season 4 official trailer. What's the deal, my people? You know what it is, the Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you, another one. And do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for your boy. 500 is the like goal. They have a new feature on YouTube called Hype. Let's hype this video so it gets out to more people, and subscribe for more content. In this trailer, we see a very unique situation dealing with the man in yellow, and that is the man in yellow looking like he is transforming. In fact, I don't think we can take it any other way that this man is shape-shifting into something. But what is he shape-shifting into, and why is he shape-shifting into this? That is what we are here to discuss and figure out. When we look at the man in yellow transforming, there is a couple of things we could take away from it to prove exactly who this man is. The first thing we see here is a suitcase. Now, this just isn't any suitcase randomly spread about. This is the same exact suitcase that Tabitha found when she was with Victor in the tunnels. In fact, they find many items when in the tunnel, but the first item they find is this suitcase. So what is the significance of this suitcase? Well, we see Tabitha open the suitcase up, and when she does, she finds a wedding dress or a nightgown slip in it, and we can assume that it looks familiar to her because this must be Miranda's suitcase, and that is why she freaks out over this suitcase. There are stickers all over this suitcase, but there is one that means something, and that is this one, the 1964 World's Fair sticker. In this sticker, we see this World's Fair is represented by the Unisphere. The Unisphere was designed to represent global independence and man's achievement on a shrinking globe in an expanding universe. The 3 large rings circling the globe aren't just for support. They represent the first 3 objects to orbit the Earth. Vortex 1, carrying the first human in space. Friendship 7, carrying John Glenn, the first American in orbit. And Telstar, the first active communication satellites. Although the theme of this World's Fair was peace through understanding, in reality, it was the showcase for how corporations, through technology, would solve all of humanity's problems. If Tabitha's suitcase owner actually went to that fair, here is what she most likely did see. The computer age. IBM had a massive pavilion where they demonstrated reasoning computers. For most people, this was the first time they ever saw a computer in person. A picture phone. Bell Systems debuted a phone that let you see a person who was talking to you. It was the 1960s version of what we call now FaceTime. Robotics. Disney debuted audio animatronics at the fair. These were the most realistic humanoid robots ever built at time. Space travel. Since the fair happened during the height of the space race, there were full-scale models and rockets and moon landings everywhere. So this World Fair was about future technology, space travel, and how corporations who control these things felt to make a better life for human beings. And when we look at that, and we look at and we look at what Jade is, which is one of these people who would have been at the World Fair, what he says is very interesting.
You know, you guys are, you're like rats in a maze, sitting there, contentedly nibbling on your cheese.
The guy who figures it all out.
You're goddamn right I am. People like me, we design the maze. We place the cheese. People like me, we design the maze. We place the cheese. People like me, we design the maze. We place the cheese.
So when you add the context of the World Fair and what it represented, people like Jade designed the maze. They placed the cheese. And again, what was Jade working on before he got here?
I don't know what you did before you got here, but I just sold a company for an obscene amount of money based on a quantum computing algorithm with a potential.
Why does Jade stop talking right there? Why doesn't he talk about what that program could actually do in the future? Why did they spend so much money for this and made him so rich? So when we look back at it, the World's Fair is the first place they debuted computers. This algorithm that Jade has most likely can do quantum entanglement. And if this algorithm had the potential in the future to simulate reality or manipulate quantum particles, it supports the idea that this is not a supernatural town, but a high-tech construction, a quantum maze built by people who use his program in the future. And that's why he was brought here to begin with.
People like me, we design the maze. We place the cheese.
So when we look at the man in yellow and the suitcase he owns, it's very significant that we see that suitcase. But there are other things that we can pick up on from this. We see his clothes on the side. Those clothes are actually found later in the trailer. But we also see while during his transformation, not only is he upside down, but also we see that his hair is growing. And not only is his hair growing, it seems to be growing into something what we can say is blondish type color. Now, there are only a couple of blondes in this show. And a little while back, a commenter on my video, when the teaser trailer came out, left a very interesting comment to me. And I did not know what it meant or how to take it until now. We see that it says that knowledge comes a cost. And again, we know that a blonde-haired woman's name is Acosta. Of course, Acosta. So could the man in yellow be becoming Acosta? We see in this trailer that Acosta looks like she's going to be Boyd's main problem going in this season. That she's going to be up his ass about everything that she wants to do. In fact, we see her while she's here not even wearing the same exact uniform that she normally has on in the show. She in fact takes off her uniform and she puts on some sweatpants and chilling. Now, she said in the show that she did not want to change her uniform because she did not want to get comfortable here. But now we see her in the trailer not wearing her uniform. Is this because it is not her in that uniform? And the man in yellow would not know that she said this. So he's just wearing clothes trying to fit in. And if that is the case, then maybe it is the man in yellow pretending to be Acosta. But then there's also Marielle that he could become. We see that Marielle does have the blonde hair. She is close to Chrissy, so it would make sense for him to become her. And she was already experimented on, so he could have her DNA. And if he does have her DNA, then he would be able to change into her, because I believe this is science-based and this is not having anything to do with magic. But you tell me in the comment section who you believe he's turning into. And you might ask yourself, Don, why do you think it's science? It has to be supernatural. Well, let me explain something to you real quick. Have you ever played a game called Resident Evil? Well, there's a new version of Resident Evil that just came out. And in this, the main person that you're up against is a scientist, a doctor. His name is Victor Gideon. When we look at the picture of Victor Gideon, he is fine. There's nothing wrong with Victor. He's just a regular human being. But then Victor takes the serum himself. And when he does, he becomes a monster and wears goggles. Now we know that there is a picture of a man in shadows who is the big boss of this, and he is also wearing goggles. When we look at the pictures of the man in yellow, whether it's Victor's drawing or his sister's drawing, and we see that he is perfectly fine and smiling, and then we look at the picture that Miranda painted of the man in yellow, he is a regular guy, but now we see who the man in yellow has become. And I do believe that he was a scientist and he took his own serum, or he was experimented on by people he trusted, and now he has no choice but to serve them. But you tell me in the comment section what you think. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.
People like me, we design the maze. We place the cheese.